personally, I think it's just in simple terms for me, the flow state is being present, is like not having any sort of outside distractions as well as sort of the thoughts that's distracting you. So whenever you're taking on a task or you're taking on a challenge, I need to be completely present to it. So I'm not in my thoughts, I'm not thinking, what's going to happen, this could happen, blah, blah, blah. And I'm also not thinking about what I think other people are thinking of me, because that takes me away from actually being present to what I'm doing. So being in the flow is like just being completely present to what I'm doing, moving without thinking, and just flowing with complete presence and no distraction. Be comfortable with where I am. So if because with parkour, it's quite an urban sport or urban movement. So there's going to be lots of distractions, people around, people say like, what are you doing? They're looking at you, just all different things going on. And you have to be able to start moving within that space without thinking about what you think they think of you, right? So the best way I do it is just start moving. So I just start moving, and once I start moving, I start warming up, and then obviously mentally I'm more focused because I'm just moving and I'm not thinking about what's going on around me. And so a lot of the time, for me, is just sort of breathing really helps me. So I would breathe, hold for a few seconds, and slowly breathe out. And that really calms me down and kind of centers me. So for me, parkour, obviously, it started in France. A group of friends were called the Yamakasi, that's their name. They were called Yamakasi. And they would just set challenges for each other, just to kind of within sort of the estates that they grew up in, where there wasn't much to do, and there was a lot of trouble going on. So instead of getting into trouble and doing those things, they did some more physical things. So setting challenges like to climb a building, or to do this jump, or to pick up a stone and throw it as far as you can. And then it just grew from that, basically. And obviously with every kind of movement, it kind of evolved and it changed over time in good ways, in really good ways. And for me, it's become more of a self-expression. Parkour for me is a very important part of my life. I always feel that if I'm ever in a negative space, if I go out and do parkour, if I just go and do some training, I always bring myself back to zero. I think for my mental health, it's very important. So it's very much in the sort of beginning stages, but so my vision and what I've started to do is that I would like to create more community classes that are more accessible to people that cannot afford it, or also don't really understand the movement, particularly moving and communing within your space. And I would love to be able to speak and get them to understand that this is a movement and it's very important, and it builds confidence and builds resilience. It creates building teamwork and working with different people from all different backgrounds, races, religions. It doesn't matter your age, your size, you can all work together. And so I want to create a project where I've found a space which has been used negatively. I would like to clean that space and make it into a positive space. I found the space, and now it's about going into the space, cleaning it out. And I've been gathering a sort of recycled sort of equipment, and I'm going to start building parkour equipment so that I can use it in the space, and then I can eventually start teaching classes, community classes. To begin with, probably bi-weekly, one class a week, which is on the weekend where I teach, and it's free, and they can just come and I'll just teach them movement, the fundamentals, and just kind of grow from there and see what happens. treating people and treating things or nature with respect that it deserves, and not, for me, not think that I'm better or I have any more importance. I feel when I ask permission, so I always say, can I climb it?
Flow.
Oh yeah, it's like so
Parkour,
easy
is
and breathable, and like, yeah, like I can move, no problem. Okay, I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was my son. Like, I found love through my son, so yeah, he's the most important for sure. See, so. Within. Vulnerability.